Alright, yeah, so I guess at that 4 hour, below this 474, we have quite a bit of room down here to 464. Also multiple imbalances to fill below us, which is going to be something I'm definitely going to be interested in to see. We could possibly have a level at 468 first, stall there, and then continue. But like I said, if this is almost like an H setup on this 4 hour. So yeah, this definitely, if we get below this overnight lows, this definitely could be a gap and go move today. But we definitely do want to be careful because this is about a $5 drop. I really don't think we'd get a $5 immediate drop. So, if we do get this break below 473, we are gonna need to be careful within those levels as we probably look to find some smaller intraday support levels as we slowly start to grind down. So that is going to be something we do want to be careful of, but I'd imagine this move would come in pretty quick all the way down to that 460, 465 level. And that's going to be that for me. But yeah, I mean, so far actually, just based off my chart here, it actually is playing out kind of how we wanted to, right? We wanted that back test on that lower trend line. And that actually is somewhat what we got there. But yeah, like I said, we do need to um, see this break lower here. As we are, yeah, if we take a look at the weekly here, that rising channel that we were sitting in, uh, last week, we ended up breaking below it with Friday's close. And then now, as I mentioned, we're opening right at 473. So we actually are starting to fill that weekly FEG. So yeah, this would make sense all the way down to 465. Right, that 465 would be the fill of that weekly FEG. So that would be actually pretty nice to see there. Yeah, so thing one thing I do like here. Alright, but yeah, one more thing I'm keeping an eye out on is gonna be SPY. So SPY, it's not gonna be as weak here, in my opinion. Right, if we take a look at SPY on the daily, I do like how we actually ended up closing yesterday. If you take a look, we actually ended up filling that daily FEG from the 18th. Filled that daily FEG and closed as a pretty much inverted hammer there with yesterday's close. So we definitely could see a potential back test of, oh wait, no, I forgot we had a gap down. So we actually are opening right at this lower trend line here, right? Uh, so now that we're actually opening up at this lower trend line, this actually could initiate that breakout. So, this would follow through also with, almost that gap and go structure, as this would be that break below that lower trend line on the actual daily setup on SPY there. So that's going to be something I will be keeping an eye out on. That actually looks quite good. Mhm. This is also a bit of an H setup here on the 4-hour structure coming in from SPY as well. So similar structure um, that we have on QQQ there. However, I do want to take a look at some of these individuals and see where we're sitting at, as that is going to be a potential drive. Looks like Apple's still stuck in previous day's range. Although, take a look at the 4-hour here on Apple. We do have Apple earnings season coming up pretty soon, which is going to be on the 1st. We have Apple earnings coming in on the 1st. However, I think we should be able to get a pretty nice move coming from Apple here. Yeah, Apple 4-hour, we have a really, really nice flagging structure. So, yeah, below, yeah, it looks like pretty much where we're at right now. Below 223, we have room down to 221. And then my final like targets for this, probably downside move is going to be 216. Also, I think if we duplicate that flagpole on the 4-hour for Apple, if we bring it down, oh yeah, that'll be really nice. That'll be a really nice pull down all the way to 219, which would be the top of that 4-hour FVG. Or is that daily? That might be a daily FVG there. Yeah, that's a daily. Yeah, daily FEG. That would be the top of that daily FEG, which we would then probably use as support. And that was kind of what I was looking for actually with Sunday's watch list. It would be that break and retest of that initial flag breakout structure there on the daily. So that would be pretty nice to see if we could get below that. Let's take a look at other names. Microsoft still continuing to actually sell off here pretty aggressively. We have about 5 minutes here for this open. So Microsoft here actually moved a little bit better these past couple days here. We had that break into that, I believe it was a weekly FVG down to the low 430s. We got a halfway fill of that on the 19th, which I believe was last week. And then we actually popped back up and started to use that gap as support. And we're opening up pretty flat here, so not too much going on with that. But yeah, that rising wedge structure actually broke out really, really nicely. So that was really nice to see there. So that I actually like quite a bit still. So that actually does have room if we start to see some continuation come in from other individuals there. All right, next up is going to be Google for me. See, we're opening up. We did just have its earnings. Um, and they are still continuing to gap down from that 4-hour structure here. We did actually break from a little bit of an H setup. This still has room in my opinion. We would have to get below this 173 level though. So below this 173 we have room, probably down to the lower 70s. Yeah, because we are going to create quite a big gap here actually. But yeah, below 173 I'd look for next level probably is going to be 69 and then 63. But if we are able to, we do have quite a big gap to fill on the lower end here. Although I'm not sure if we'll actually be able to get there. But that is going to be something to keep in mind. So that would be that right there. We have 2 minutes left here for this open. Yeah, Nvidia here as well, opening at 119. We need to get below this 119 for an actual break. So a lot of actually similar structure on these names here. We are all pretty much at breakout levels here um, for quite a bit room. So as I mentioned, this definitely could be a potential gap and go if we are able to get below these overnight low levels. That is going to be something I'm going to be watching going into the open today. But let's see what we get here. All right, here's the opening bell. All right, coming into this open here, we have looks like Microsoft. Well, no, actually everything's pretty slow here. Might have a really, really tiny 5 minute flag structure coming in here. She might actually start to get this break if we are able to get above view up here. Keeping an eye out on that, but I am looking for a back test here on a SPY up to this 550 level, and I think that's actually where I'll be keeping an eye out for shorts for me. I think we may look to continue lower today. But I don't want to create too much of a bias, but I am willing to give that at least a stab. So yeah, we did get that official tab as well on view up for QQQ and SPY, so we are starting to reject that a little bit, and we are holding this 5 minute almost ranging structure, but we are starting to get a little bit of a pop here coming from Microsoft there, but that's really the only name it looks like as of right now. Similar structure actually with a lot of these individuals with us sitting right below view up here. So I'm going to be keeping an eye out if we do actually get this break below this range structure. Getting a little bit of a sell here. So it actually looks like we're almost bear flagging here on SPY and Nvidia. However, I don't want to get too ahead of myself as we are still holding within this structure here. Be keeping an eye out on that. Yeah, so for me here, we would have to see Nvidia actually probably get above VWAP.
Really aggressive downside overnight and start here. So for me, I'm just gonna stay patient. Patience is kind of the name of the game for today. Waiting to see where we bottom and if we bottom. Structure wise on the 4 hour for NQ, we broke below the bottom of the range that we formed in the last 2 weeks of June, and this was a pretty big consolidation area and a big support. So us breaking below is pretty bearish. So definitely waiting to see where we end up.
Apple here sitting at a previous low of day here. And this is what I was kind of keeping an eye on for this open, right? If we don't get below this 473, it could be a pretty quick drop down. However, I do want to see how we interact here with this following 5-minute candle.
Tesla down 10% so far today. Google is down 5%. Big tech definitely responsible for this drop here. Healthcare, the healthcare sector for SPY is actually green today.
Okay, I'm actually in a short right there at a 72. I'm gonna give that a try, as I think we are probably gonna get this close below this trend line there, and that below that 73 level. So I'm gonna give this a try, and then my stop is just gonna be a break back above overnight lows there. So I'm gonna short at 72. Looking to see this kind of momentum continue from these individuals. We did get Nvidia break below this 119. However, I would like to see us close below that. We do have Apple also continuing to sell off here. If we could get Microsoft to follow through there as well, that would be pretty nice to see. Downside targets for me is probably going to be pulling all the way down to 470 here. If we do get this break lower and other individuals start to fall here, this should be a really, really quick drop. Yep, there we go. It's up about 20 points here. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is a very quick drop here. I'm going to take some partials here. Yeah, took some partials right here. Partials right there at 43. I'm out half at 43. You can move your stops to break even or, continue to hold this as you please. This is a risk-free trade here, guys. Great momentum push right there.
Nice trade.
Thank you, thank you. I'll be looking to get all out here, guys. 1 second. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Wow, what a morning trade here. Yeah, I'm out right there. Out at 30. Let's go. What a morning trade. Nice little 42 points to start the morning. 10 minutes into the open. Love that. Anyone able to catch that with me in main market talk? Nice shot, player. Let's go. Let's go flip. There we go. Great morning trade. Yeah, so we actually may continue here. This could just be a little small retracement for a continuation leg lower, but yeah, quick little move right there. Like I said, we're really just trying to, ride that momentum right there. So, just in and out right there. We have room down, like I said, to that 70 level, I think, but we'll definitely take that right there. So does anyone have any questions for that trade there that we just took while we wait for another one? All right, so I'm just gonna go over pretty much what I was looking at with that trade right there. So this is actually something we were going over in the pre-market. I know some of you guys actually weren't here for the pre-market and what we were looking at, but pretty much with a lot of these individual tickers here, Apple, Microsoft, Google, and Nvidia, we're all pretty much sitting at some pretty key breakout levels here on the larger structure, including, QQQ and SPY, right? I guess one thing that I was keeping eye out on the larger frame was going to be QQQ on the 4-hour structure. So if you take a look at this 4-hour structure here, we had a previous kind of like rising channel right there, and then you could see, I forget what day this is. This might have been last week or something like that, but on this 4-hour structure, you see that we did end up getting that break below kind of like that channel, and we got a back test, right? So this is just going to be a really simple break and back test right there. And it actually also kind of looks like a little flag, right? Or a little wedge, you could say, on a 4-hour structure, which actually ended up breaking out really nicely there. But you could see, on these, I guess correction weeks is what I've been saying, these since last week. When we get these little H setups here, we'll see this really, really often for continuation, especially on, just more trendy days. But the level that I was keeping an eye on was going to be that 473, which is going to be the overnight low, right? And then if you actually take a look at this level here, this 473, and just go straight to the left, there really isn't a whole lot below us here, right? So, a break below this 473 here on QQQ, right? We have actually quite a bit of room down to this 465. And we are also pretty much starting to fill some imbalances down below on the daily time frame, I believe. Yeah, so we have some gaps to fill below on this daily time frame. So it'd make sense for us to, just start filling these imbalances. Um, and let's see. Yeah, just using some guides from the individuals, larger structure as well. It's a very, very similar idea with, just these other names. Look at the apple here on this 4-hour. We had a bit of a bear flag structure, basing at this 223, right, which was the overnight low. And then once we got that break below 223, just a pretty much a straight shot down for me, um, as this is a pretty big move here overall that we have. So really just using a lot of the individual tickers to guide my trade there. But yeah, like I said, very similar structure on the individuals, mainly Nvidia and Apple though, and Qs is what I was keeping an eye out on for. We're still actually basing here really nicely, so this could set us up for another leg here, which I mentioned. So we definitely could look to take a re-entry here if we wanted to. It looks like we are starting to still see some sell coming in from Apple here. I don't know, for me, Apple has room down here. Looks like we are starting to see a little bit of buying come in from Nvidia, but we would have to, for me, with Nvidia, we would have to get back above this overnight low or even 119. And that'll be a really nice confluence there as well as view up does also line up with kind of like that overnight low level as well. So if we are able to get that, that definitely could potentially flip sentiment. Otherwise, if we continue to remain below this, I think we have quite a bit of room down. Could be a potential slow grind here, but don't want to get too ahead of ourselves.
Mm, okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Good morning, guys.
Morning, Ben. How we doing?
Morning, Ben.
How you guys doing?
Good, good, good.
Good. All right. So for my main watch this morning was actually Starbucks. We did get that breakdown. Unfortunately, my computer started having all the issues possible. But I'm gonna be seeing if we can get a retracement back to that 76.10 level for a potential next leg down. But I'm gonna keep that aside on watch for now. Regarding cues, not much for me over here. Gonna be waiting for either 466.80 or 475.70 areas. So for now, I'm just gonna be hands off cues as well. I'm just gonna start doing some charting on the other tickers as most of my watch list got invalidated.
Okay, so this is actually a really nice back test here coming in from NVIDIA. Did get this back test of overnight lows there, but we are starting to actually see SPY sell off a little bit harder here. And it actually almost looks like we are starting to move bear flag here on QQQ. Keep an eye out for this structure if we do want to get a pull lower here. Um, this actually would be really nice to see though for this flag structure to break out on Qs as, you know, this could just be once again, break and retest on NVIDIA, right? So break from that overnight low support, back test it, see if we want to use this as resistance, and if we do, NVIDIA should be able to put in a new low here and actually drag down Qs, which would validate that break from that flagging structure there. But yeah, it looks like only strength really is coming in from Microsoft and Google here. Um, Google did already have quite a big gap down there after its earnings. But nothing yet from me though, so still just watching here. Only thing that I don't really like here is Nvidia is looking like it's trying to pull back above this 119. Yeah, SPY is dropping though. Apple looks like it is trying to potentially find the bottoms. Nice little hop right there. Yeah, we're not really seeing a lot of correlation though coming in from QQQ, even though Nvidia and Apple are kind of starting to pop here. Q's really is just actually just basing here, and it's actually sitting more on the lower end here. So there's definitely still, quite a bit of weakness coming in here, especially with SPY continuing to sell off here. So that is going to be something I'm going to be, taking into consideration here. This could be a potential 5-minute GP coming in from Nvidia. We are sitting right at the 70.07 here. So if this 5-minute GP does want to reject, I imagine it'd be pretty quick, especially with this so we are starting to get this break here. They just put in the low. 1 second. Yeah, this definitely could be I mean, technically we would have had to already been in a short, as we would have liked to catch this technically this break, but I was actually looking to ride that momentum there. But I did miss my entry though, unfortunately, so looks like I'll probably just be watching here.
Still waiting on this first 30-minute candle close here for ESNNQ. We do have new home sales in about 2 minutes here.
And there's that really nice GPU reaction from Nvidia. Like I said, right, the second that ticker actually starts to react, especially with the overall weakness that was still coming in from QQQ. If Nvidia rejected right there, we'd be a pretty aggressive pop down. Just kind of what we got right there. But For me, I would like to see this candle close lower with this 5 minute. Otherwise, this lagging structure technically would still be valid if we did close back above there. I'm probably just gonna wait for this data to come out first at 10, and then we'll see where we're at.
Yes, NQ starting to bottom here. We are getting a little bit of buying here with lower wicks on the 30-minute time frame here.
Yeah, I do like how this video is holding view up here, but yeah, actually looking, I don't know, still, yeah, like you said, weakness still coming in from Apple here, which could potentially drive us.
Not at all a convincing hold here so far.
You may just want to flush straight to this 470 level here on QQQ. Well, technically we're at 470 right now, but 470 flat. Yep. Continue to put in a new low right there. Apple new low of day as well. Looks like Nvidia did get a beautiful rejection off that GP. Looks like we are trying to pull below view up here once again. And keep in mind, we are still sitting in that larger time frame imbalance, right? So we technically do have quite a bit of room to fill below us here. As I mentioned, if we do get that break below that 473 level, which was going to be that overnight low, it should be a really, really quick move down to each level. But, these intraday supports here might give us, a little bit of a hold, but overall, it should be a pretty quick uh, fill.
Yeah, I'm with you here. So I on the 4 hour I have the 19500 level on NQ here, and this was a previous support that acted resistance a long time ago here. And below this level we have a big straight up candle here, which means that it was a pretty unhealthy move, no real validation. So if we do drop below 19500 on NQ here, I do have 19262 as the next potential bottom here. That's a pretty big range, about 240 points here. So a lot of room.
Yeah. So I'm still keeping an eye on this 5 minute close here on individual tickers. If we continue to close at a lower low, Nvidia looks like it's trying to hold this view up to get bought up after that little dip we just had. Though Apple is still continuing to close lower here, but
Selling has stalled here on ESNNQ. We are starting to form some wicks on the 30 minute here. On the 5 minute, it does show a little bit of a bottom. Price hasn't been moving too much here. Definitely not enough conviction here or confluence to take a long, but this is a potential slowdown selling here.
yeah, still not really liking this move that's coming in from Apple here. Still putting in that low. And it looks like Nvidia did get that close just below view up there. Definitely slowed down here quite a bit. Really haven't moved too much after that morning drop. Looks like we are trying to break below this 19,500 level. We'll see though. Yeah, Nvidia did get that pop, but however, you do still see that we ended up holding inside that 78.6 GP, so that setup technically is still valid right there. Um, but I think this could get really ugly if we do get a pretty aggressive candle close lower here. Yeah, if Nvidia. New low of day just did get put in right there. Yeah, so it's still, like I said, still not really convinced of this buying just yet. That was a very, very quick drop right there. So Nvidia did get that break below view up there once again. A little bit more of an aggressive sell though, right there with that following candle, or that previous candle. But yeah, it looks like we're kind of just grinding now. It's not really anything too aggressive here that's coming in as of right now, but
Yeah, we're just stalling a little bit here. ES does actually look a lot weaker than NQ. We're breaking below here while NQ is holding relatively well.
Yeah, should be able to get this back test of this 500 psych level right there after we did get that 5-minute close below it. So technically that would be our breakout candle right there, but let's see if we do actually want to get this push lower. Okay. I did actually just try one more short right there at 93, and I am in half size. I'm in half size. Gonna actually run a pretty tight stop. My stop is just gonna be a 5-minute candle close above 19,500 psych. So tight stop, small size, as I want to see if this momentum can kind of continue here. So short at 93. And I do also want to see if this kind of lower high and lower low structure can actually continue to follow through from NQ. So, like I said, tight stops right there. Like I said, I'm really just looking to see if we could kind of just ride this wave here. Nvidia is still sitting below VWAP there. Apple is sort of flagging here, and then we are starting to get more of a breakdown coming in from Microsoft, which I actually like here. It was actually almost a bit of an age setup once again, but be keeping an eye out on this. I'm not sure if many were actually even able to get that fill right there, but I'll be looking for probably a new low of day to come in here. Kind of just continue to put in this lower low and lower high. It's actually already 20 points for me, just about. I think if we do just get one little slight pop into new low of day is probably going to just be my target right there. Like I said, I'm not really going to be looking for much as I'm really just looking to ride this wave, follow this trend here. And Nvidia is still actually continuing to sell here a little bit. As I mentioned, we are still sitting below that 119. We are below VU up there as well. But I think if Apple is able to get this break below this 220.50, that could potentially pull us. We have a 1-minute flagging structure here as well coming in from NQ. Don't really like to play 1-minute setups, but this could be used as some extra confluence within this trade as it is a lower time frame setup. They just get a little bit of buying right there, yeah. However, this technically, this higher low or lower high is technically still in play here. So I actually might, maybe instead of 500, I might just do a clear above this, upper trend line right there instead of 500. Well, actually, it would be the same exact thing, so never mind. Yeah, I guess it would be above 500. But there's a potential re-entry opportunity for those that I guess were looking to follow me. Like I said, I am in half size with a relatively tight stop, so not a whole lot of risk here. I'm not looking to give back a whole lot after that morning trade. So Yeah, this move may actually take some time to play out, as you know, this definitely could be a potential trend day. Is that really just kind of going with the wave here until this structure gets broken. So
Finally getting some buying here on ESNQ, but it's still really risky to go for a long here. Nothing that really says to me that this is our bottom yet.
yeah, if you guys had took that entry on that back test right there, I gave back pretty much my exact entry right there. So we were up about, 20 points right there. If you guys are looking to, just scalp something light, get in a little small green. But like I said, I'm going to be keeping an eye out on this 1 minute structure. I would like to see this break below 75. I just want, there we go. Yeah, I kind of want like a candle like this, a little bit more of an aggressive candle close lower. And then that might be able to send us back towards this lower trend line. But I mean, this is over, it should be over 20 points for you guys, depending on your entry, or right about 20 points. So just looking for one more green trade right there. That's, you could literally just take that right there. Can't go broke taking green, so. So yeah, I do like this kind of 1 minute candle close right there. A little bit weaker, however, I think we still need to close a little bit lower here below the 70. Although technically this would be that breakout of that 1 minute flagging structure, I believe. Yeah, just based off those previous candle closes and wicks there. Yeah, I do still like Nvidia here as it is continuing to still sit below VWAP here. The only thing I'm actually just not a fan of Apple here as it is kind of just basing here. I'm not a fan of that candle right there. Looks like we are starting to see some buying step in here. Might get stopped out of this here. We will see.
The dip there and then the immediate buying there, forming a wick here on the lower time frame. I'm on the 5 minute here. That definitely shows some buying here. This might be some kind of reversal that we're seeing here. Bulls finally stepping in. Bears finally slowing down here.
I still actually don't hate this until we close above 500 on this 5 minute.
All right, I'm out here on my small caps long RTY here at, let's see, 2255.10. I'm going to be long on ES here at 5520. I think we have enough signs here of a reversal, at least a small one.
Looks like we are still continuing to base here. At that 470 level, we did actually hold quite nicely, which was what I was kind of targeting this morning with that first opening trade. So we are holding that level pretty nicely here, but yeah, for me, like I said, until we get above 500, get a 5 minute close above 500, I'll still be in this. So this will probably be about roughly like a 20 point risk, maybe. I'd say, yeah, maybe like a 20 point risk or something like that. So technically about 10 points given up on normal full size, so not a whole lot. And this probably will also be the last trade for me as well for today, but love that kind of rejection right there. That's kind of what I was keeping an eye out on, right? We got that back test of that 500 psych level, which is kind of what I wanted to see. We used it as some resistance right there. Still continue to hold this kind of like 1 minute structure. You can see we are still within this lower low and lower high. So actually am quite a big fan of this, but you know, we're still back up here. This is still 20 points if you guys are looking to exit for profits. Like I said, Very wiki indeed here. Very wiki. But yeah, it's still sitting at this 470, so I'll be honest, I think if we do get this break below 470, it might just be a straight push to 468, potentially. Keep an eye out on Apple here. Watching this following 5-minute close here. We have, yeah, they just get a lower close here on Apple. I do like to see that as we were starting to base there at that 50, but I wouldn't be too convinced of that close just yet. Nvidia here is flagging a little bit on this 5-minute, small 5-minute flag structure. You know, this 5-minute on Qs and NQs still is actually still basing here. Almost looks like a bit of a bear flag structure still, so. Yeah, for me, one thing I don't want to see is Nvidia get back above you up and this overnight low level.
Not of my ES long there.
There we go, guys. This is that push. You could definitely look to take this here. This is over 30 points. I'll be looking to get out of this too here. If we could get a little bit more. Don't get too greedy with this. All right. Take this here. Great rejection right there, though. All right, we did get in that new low of day, which is going to be my target. All right, guys. I took my first trim right there at 61, a little over 30 points there. Uh, I closed 3 of 5. I'm going to be looking to hold these other two. Looking for a little bit more room here on these last two. However, I am going to be setting my stop loss to break even with these last two here. Okay. So this is going to be a completely risk-free trade. You can move your stops to break even or in profit. But this will pretty much be it for me after this one. Like I said, you guys could do pretty much whatever you want from here on out. the full close, hold some partials, but definitely look to close most right here as we did get that dip. Here we go. A little bit more here. There we go, guys. Alright guys, I'm all out right here at 49. All out right there at 49 for the last two. And I am also done for today.
Nice trade, man.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. Looking at price action so far, it looks like we do have some nice lower wicks on the 30-minute time frame on ES.